Hello everyone, on today's episode of the 1 Year Life Challenge, we're going to talk about how to tackle any obstacle, we're going to talk about boulders, and we're going to talk about a boy with an elephant head. So exciting, stay tuned. Hello, a lot promised in the intro. I think I promised a boulder, how to overcome any obstacle, maybe like that, and a boy with an elephant's head. This is why you watch. It's mind-blowing, exciting stuff, right? So as always, on the topic of overcoming obstacles, I'm going to begin with a quote, and that quote is, "When the world says, give up, hope whispers, try it one more time." I'll say that again. When the world says, give up, hope whispers, try it one more time. That's from an unknown author. It's from the collective unconscious. It's from that knowing, K-N-O-W-ing, that comes into us. And I love that quote. I only came across it recently, and trust me, you're going to hear it again and again and again until we both get it. So, as always, I'm going to begin with, as always, today, which is a new day, I'm going to have a story, which is an ancient story that I want to talk about. And it's from ancient China. And the story is that there was this ancient Chinese king who really loved his people. He wanted the best out of his people, and he really had worked on development, getting information out, helping the literacy in his kingdom, and he wanted to test his people and see if his good works had helped. So he took his mates, the courtiers and all the blokes used to hang out with kings because somehow, due to their last name, they were better than other people, but we'll talk about that another day, but this bloke was alright. So he went out with his mates on horseback through China and went to one of the main roads that he created for his people. And he had a giant boulder placed in the middle of the road. And he said to his courtesans, he said, "Listen, I'm going to wait here and I'm going to hide so no one can see the king's here, and you guys need to get stuffed as well. And I'm going to watch my people and see what they do, because I hope that they've learned. I hope that they've become better people and they can overcome this boulder." So the king, made himself a little bush or whatever, put some camouflage on, no one saw him, and he just watched. And to his disappointment, the first couple of people who walked up to the boulder just sort of looked at it and went, "Oh, this is no good," and they just walked around it. A couple of other people came up and they just started complaining. Goes, "Oh, this boulder, I heard the king put it here. This king, what a I don't like this king no more. He put a boulder here. He's an idiot. King's, this is no good." They just complained and complained and complained. And then finally, a farmer who was pulling his crate full of vegetables cruised up to the rock. And he was about to go around it, because he could take his fish, and he went, no, that's pretty lazy. He put it down, and he was a very happy guy. He'd gone to school, first person in his generation, the king had created a school. He's a happy guy, so he thought, I've got some time, I'll get rid of this boulder because the other blokes behind me will probably appreciate it. So he starts pushing the boulder, he's pulling on it, it's really difficult, so he starts using the leverage of the cart. Eventually, after about 10-15 minutes of trying, the boulder rolls off, and now the road is free. And as he picks up his cart, he realises the king's left all his gold under the boulder. So he gratefully picks it up and puts it in his cart. Every obstacle presents an opportunity to improve your condition. Every obstacle improves your opportunity to improve your condition. And God is kind of like the king, or the universe. The collective consciousness is like that king. It just wants the best for you, but it knows the best for you is through challenge and obstacles. And for me, one of the great things I've learned through Indian mysticism is I had an employee once come and bring me back a little Ganesh statue from Calcutta, I think it was. Anyway, so I had this statue. I go, I better know about this statue, because this is before I'd started my path, and I started looking into Ganesh. And Ganesh is the elephant-headed boy, and basically, the story of Krishna coming home and finding his wife with this, and Krishna had been hanging, he'd been kicking it for, it's either Shiva or Krishna. Forgive me. Let's use Shiva in this example, because he's a hothead and makes sense that it's Shiva. So Shiva, who's the Indian deity, went out doing his thing, destructing universes and worlds. He's a bit destructive bloke. Came home to see his wife. Fair enough, 20 years. So he's left his wife's having a bath, and this bloke, like 18-year-old, must have been like a good-looking bloke. Shiva just got angry. "What are you doing next to the bathtub, my wife?" And grabbed his sword and chopped off the head of the person, just in anger. And then realised, why'd I do that? And his wife comes out screaming, going, "That's our son. That's our son. You just haven't seen him for 20 years." So Shiva goes, this is no good. I've got to fix him. And because they're in a certain realm, there were no other people there. So the only thing that was there was an elephant. So he grabbed the elephant's head and put it onto the boy to keep the boy alive. And that god Ganesh, which is the cool, the elephant-headed boy, is known as the great remover of obstacles. All he does is remove those obstacles. And he sort of helps you understand the importance of obstacles, right? Because it's only the obstacle. The obstacle is the thing, and once it goes, you're always free. So how do you beat these obstacles? Well, there's three ways to beat any obstacle. The first way is know your why. Why are you taking on this obstacle? Why is it important? It's often said that if you know your why, you can do any how, what, where, or when. And I believe that. Your purpose, your defining mission will help you beat any obstacle. When you look at things like the space race, we went from the dudes at Kitty Hawk, the Wright brothers, I should know their name, they didn't invent flight. You know, they had that crappy cardboard boxy looking thing that flew like, I don't know, 200 meters. Within 65 years, within 70 years, we're on the moon. Because of the space race, the challenges that got us, because we knew why. We had to get to the moon. The Americans knew their why. JFK had told them their why, and the how, the what, which they didn't have the material to do it, wasn't even an issue. Number two, know that the process is the fulfillment. So many people strive at obstacles and goals to get the money, get the cash. But who you become is so more important than what you get. And knowing that the process is the most important part keeps you in the moment and gets you to where you need to be. And number three, whenever you beat an obstacle, celebrate. However you like to celebrate, whether you want to go out and have a coffee, go to the gym, whatever you want to do. Everyone celebrates differently. Celebrate. Because if you celebrate when you overcome a challenge, your brain will be more receptive and positive when it sees challenges, because it will create a neuro association between challenge and celebration. And also what's cool is your life becomes a celebration, because trust me, there's a lot of challenges out there. So if every time you beat one, you then celebrate, you're going to have a life full of celebration. Lots of challenges, lots of ways to overcome them. The fact we're here, we're living, like Sia said, I'm still breathing, means you can create it. You can create it. I felt like Monkey Magic then when he did the Until then, until tomorrow, keep on pumping. I can't wait to see you. Goodbye.